D2 and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sportscene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sportscene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome to On the Roll edition of Sportscene today. Coming to you live from the Hoover Met, Hoover, Alabama, the site of the SEC baseball tournament. The Gators will play the game following the one we're watching right now. Florida plays Vanderbilt. And right now, Missouri is playing Mississippi State, and Mississippi State leads 3-2. The game is in the bottom half of the fifth inning, and State's threatening runners at first and second, and one out. Luis is our producer today. Obviously, we are not in the Gator Trim Light studio, but we normally are, and we thank Gator Trim Light for sponsoring that. And a foul ball just came very close to where I'm sitting in our booth here. Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting, but as you know, I've been telling you, they do a whole lot more than that. Pool enclosures, businesses to decks and landscape lighting, full color systems, and everything is programmable from your phone. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. You can find out more. We are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Again, been in business for nearly 50 years. That should tell you something. When you go by and see them, make sure and tell them Sportscene sent you. With Luis is our producer today. Many ways you can contact us. Our text line, 352-325-3777, brought to you by B&D Electric. They are professional. They are reliable. Service you can trust. You can schedule at bdelectric.com. YouTube questions, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. What Coach Spurrier does is banking, serving our community for 90 years. And our Facebook Live questions, courtesy of Ruse Ogra, State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. If you call us, we'd love to hear from you today. 392-8255, our studio line, brought to you by Titan MRI and Imaging. Same-day scheduling available. Locations in Gainesville, Lake City to serve you better. Find out more at TitanMRI.com. Email srussell@wruf.com, courtesy of International Diamond Center. They have great jewelry, folks. Designer engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, and they are, of course, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. And Quality Plumbing, sponsoring the first hour of the show here today. When you need a company you can trust the company. Since 1984, that's been doing great work. That company is Quality Plumbing. And all of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, the only injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Meldon Law won't back down. Okay, we will open the phone lines for you, 392-8255. And again, if you want to email, you can, srussell@wruf.com. Mark says, what a win last night for your Knickerbockers. I was going to get into that. Atkinson ended regulation with 2 timeouts left in his pocket, yes, and he got called out on that. I kept waiting for him to use at least one during the 18-1 Knicks run. Were you shocked he didn't use a minimum of one? Absolutely so, Mark, yes. That's something you do at the middle school level. I mean, he knows his team better than I do, obviously, but I certainly would have used a timeout there. No doubt about that. And it's interesting, too. At one point in the game, the Knicks had a 99.7% chance to lose. And they somehow found a way to win. And Jalen Brunson just just fried James Harden. I mean, they went right at Harden, and he could do nothing about what happened. Patrick, first thing off the top of your head when I mentioned the following ball players. Vida Blue, really good left-hander. Thurman Munson, a beloved Yankee. Josh Hamilton, what could have been. The Mick, a lot of things I could say about him. First thing, though, great Yankee. Great Yankee. I mean, there's a lot of things, Patrick, in there, but, I mean, I would probably go with that. Again, you want to talk about the game last night, the game coming up today. If you don't know for some reason, Florida's playing Vanderbilt. LSU came here and won yesterday. They beat Oklahoma, and LSU only used 3 pitchers in the game. They won 6-2, and, their pitching, as you saw against Florida, wasn't exactly stellar, but it was good enough to keep them going here. And, again, the only way they have of advancing at all is to win this tournament. So we'll see if that happens today. Our guest list, if everything goes right, Michelle Smith's going to join us here in a couple of minutes to talk the Super Regionals in softball. Kevin Brockway, my buddy from the Gainesville Sun, interesting thought process he's got going, and want to get your thoughts too as we go on during the day. What's a better hitter's ballpark to you, Condren or McKeithen Stadium? Yeah. And then Richard Johnson, one of our grads, works at CBSSports.com. I'm sure you have seen what the NAACP is calling for, a boycott of some of the schools that are involved in the South, in their states, with gerrymandering, taking away predominantly black voting districts. We'll talk to him about that. And then a former Gator, Lorenzo Edwards, is going to join us later in the hour, in the 1 o'clock hour. Played on the 08 championship team. He's now being honored at a United Football League game in Orlando for what he's doing now. It's pretty cool stuff, too. So we will do all those things today. Luis, if we have callers, let me know. I don't have the screen up, so just text me, and we'll get callers on today. Again, when you're on the road like this, you don't have every. You know what I lost? I don't know if I left it at the airport. I can't find my baseball scorebook. I went in my briefcase today. No scorebook. Maybe I left it at the hotel. I hope so. If not, somebody's going to be getting to visit from me because you got to have a scorebook, right? You got to have something to do here. Now, the game is still in the 5th inning here. It is still 4-2, Mississippi State. Let's get some calls. Daryl's first. Daryl, hi.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Steve. Thanks for all you do out there in Hoover. Steve, is Aiden King starting today?
Yes.
Okay. 3 days rest. We possibly make it to Sunday. He could come back and start Sunday, too.
I doubt he would do that. I think they're going to probably have him on a pitch count today, I would imagine. I don't know that. But now, look, obviously you don't play again until, next weekend. But he's, it's a little bit shorter time than he would normally pitch. So that's why I'm thinking, he may be on a pitch count. We'll see.
Okay. Steve, you talking about LSU earlier. I was just thinking, what if they got on a run like Ole Miss and Mississippi State did a few years ago and won it all, which I don't think is going to happen. But, it wouldn't surprise me they win this thing just to get in a regional somewhere.
It would surprise me. I mean, look, I get it. They're LSU. I get, their history. But look, in seeing them up close, it's funny. They used a pitcher yesterday that was awful. Sheeran against Florida, who's been pretty good. He was good yesterday. Against Florida, he was horrible. So it just, you don't know. So we'll see. But they did win one game. Give them that.
Yeah. It was kind of surprised me that Ole Miss got put out by Missouri yesterday.
Yeah, me too. But you know what? I give Missouri a lot of credit. They have by far the poorest resources of anybody in the SEC. And they came with a little spunk yesterday, and they're playing pretty good today, too. So I give them a lot of credit because they're playing loose, just like LSU is. Got nothing to lose.
Yep. All right, Steve, look forward to the broadcast this afternoon.
Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate the call. Let's get to D. D, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Steve? NBA, man. I'm almost speechless of what I saw last night, man, because, I said Knicks in 6, and the reason I said it, Steve, is because I told you, even though the Cavs have beaten Detroit, Toronto, you just don't know what you're going to get from the team. They're so inconsistent from game to game, and their lack of maturity and their lack of urgency from the players and the coaches cost them last night because, you had a chance to make a statement, put the Knicks on the ropes, but you failed to close out. And, Kenny Atkinson not calling timeouts, him not adjusting. Dean Wade was doing pretty good on Brunson, but then you leave a 37-year-old man, Harden, to go against one of the best closers in the NBA and Jalen Brunson. What do you think was as great as a comeback as that was for the Knicks, man? Cleveland just completely collapsed.
They did. And I think the Knicks, as I thought would happen, showed a little rust. They were on that roll, and then they, had that layoff. But I don't care if it's the Knicks or who. There's two ways to look at it. Did the Cavaliers collapse? Did the Knicks not give up? A combination of both, but I'm with you. That was more a Cavs collapse than it was a Knicks comeback. Give them credit for doing it, but the Cavaliers should have had game one in the pocket, and they didn't.
Yep, and I'm wondering how it's going to play out now psychologically, Steve, because, like I said, the Cavs have been resilient. I'll give them that. But, man, when you lose a game like that, man, it's psychologically devastating. So I wonder if the Knicks come out and punch them in the mouth early tomorrow night, how will they respond? So that's going to be the question. But, yeah, congratulations to your Knicks, man. That was a hell of a comeback, man.
And I agree with you 100%. I do want, if the Knicks do come out, go up 20, what happens to the Cavs? Now I don't know if the Knicks will do that, but if they do, that is the question of the night, given what happened in Game 1. No doubt about it, D.
Yep. Good luck to the Gators out there. Be good, Steve.
All right. Thank you, D. Let's get Byron real quick before we get Michelle Smith here. Hi, Byron.
Hey, Steve, I'll be quick, man. Love D calls, man, and all your callers. Steve, I'll say this real quick. You were right about the rust. I went to sleep because I'm a Knicks fan now. I give up, Steve. I think it was 90-70, and I said, wow, Steve is right. The rust. And look what happened. So, Steve, never give up on the NBA game. Man, I'm with D. That ought to be psychologically wounding for Cleveland. I played basketball. I think I'd be discouraged after that. But, Steve, Mike is one of my favorite callers. I want to shout him out and say to the Gator fans, and the way the Knicks were last night, come on, Gator fans. Let's pick up for the girls softball. Santa Fe fans, if you're there. Gator fans, if you're out there. Man, come on, let's shout for the Gators, man, and get behind them and make some noise, man. Go, Gators!
All right. Thank you, Byron. Appreciate your call. We'll take a break, come back. Hopefully, speaking of softball, ESPN's Michelle Smith to join us to talk about the Super Regionals. That's coming up next. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jacob Whitman. 5th-seeded Gators baseball is set to start off their SEC tournament against 12th-seeded Vanderbilt. Going into the tournament, the Gators are on a 4-game winning streak, winning 8 of their last 10. You can catch that game right here on WRUF at 1:55. In other Gator news, men's golf has started their final day of their NCAA Regional. The Gators sit at first place with a 16-shot lead. Moving to the gridiron, Gainesville High School captured a 21-14 spring game victory over North Marion Tuesday. After the hard-fought win, Gainesville head coach Ian Scott said this about team chemistry.
I got to go lift weights. If I hate everybody that's in the weight room, I'm not going to be really excited about doing that. Or I got to put full pads on at 90 degrees and go out there and run into somebody. That's not a lot of fun if I don't enjoy the people that I'm doing it with.
You can read more about the Purple Hurricanes' cyclonic win on WRUF.com.
Hey, it's Steve Russell for Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Friends, they've been in business for 45-plus years, and the Cousins family has done just one thing, but man, they've done it right. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late-model, low-mileage vehicles. I'm driving one right now, have been for a very long time. They've treated me right. They'll do the same thing for you. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans. Packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes, we make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
No, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Miapa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Miapa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-through, to-go, or catering, Miapa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Miapa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Galabank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Galabank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Galabank. Member FDIC.
Connecting with WRUF at Sportscene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sportscene today, live from the Hoover Met side of the SEC baseball tournament. They're in the 6th inning now. State leads Missouri 4-2. And again, We will be on after this game, approximately 2 o'clock. So we will see what happens. All right, we are awaiting Michelle Smith to call us now. Okay, she is now with us, so let's bring her in here from ESPN to talk about super regionals in college softball. Michelle, always good to have you back. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. Great to be back, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Let's talk, first of all, when you saw what happened with Texas Tech, could you believe that?
No. It's like 1 out, you score 8 runs. My head was blowing off. Lord. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, but let's start because they're going to be in Gainesville. How do you see that super?
Oh, it's going to be a super. Let's put it that way. I think a lot of people are very intrigued on this. Texas Tech has some of the best arms that money could buy this collegiate season. Nyjah Kennedy, Caitlin Terry, as we like to affectionately call her, KT. I mean, those are 2 of the best arms in women's softball right now. KT's a lefty, Nyjah's a righty. They both have outstanding rise balls. So they're really strong in the circle. They have given up some hits as of lately, though. They did drop the Big 12 championship game to Arizona State, who's been playing well, but they're a very solid team. They also can hit the ball. A little bit of intrigue as well because Mia Williams transferred over from Florida to Texas Tech. She'll be coming back into Gainesville, so that'll be a little spicy, I'm sure. But, this is a Texas Tech team that can put a lot of runs up, but they're playing a very good and very well-tested Florida team that competed in a very hard SEC. So, I think that's going to be the intrigue is that Texas Tech has not played a top 10 ranked team since February. So
wow.
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. When you look at the paper, when you look at all the numbers on paper, Texas Tech is very good. But, again, you have to kind of look at it with a critical eye because who have they played since February? They haven't had the strongest competition, unlike Florida.
When you look at this Gator team, Michelle, what do you see? What do you like about it?
What's not so like? Tim Walton always puts a really quality team on the field. Great defense. They have very good pitching, and they have an offense that can put big numbers up on the board. I think my little bit of where it could get difficult for him is in the pitching circle. Obviously, Rothrock is one of the best in the game. She does have a little bit of a propensity to give up some big hits, so she's going to need to limit that damage. The ball's going to leave the park at some point. She just needs to make sure she gives up a home run. It's a solo and not a 3-run or, a big shot like that. The defense is going to have to play spotless behind her. They're going to need to get lead out and not put her in situations where she's constantly pitching with runners in scoring position. And then, Jocelyn Erickson, Taylor Shoemaker, all the big bats are going to have to do damage to help them out. I think that the one area where it's tough is that Ava Brown, when she got injured earlier in the year, not having that really good quality arm as a number 2 pitcher has been a little bit tough on them. But they've got a lot of arms that can come out of the pen, and it might be, if Rothrock is not on, it might be a pitch by committee type of game for them.
Michelle, there's never a bad super regional, let's face it, because there's, quality. But as you look around the country, a lot of SEC teams are in these supers. What are 2 or 3 other supers you're really looking to see and, see what happens when they're played?
Well, I think the Rhodes House is going to be rocking. Alabama is very good this year, so LSU going up there, I think there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on that. I think there's going to be a ton of eyeballs on ASU showing up at Texas. And it's interesting. I'm sure Texas is a little happier that it's Arizona State and not Texas A&M because, that battle between the Texas schools was always a little feisty. But that's going to be good because Kenzie Brown is pitching really well for ASU right now. It's a team that is starting to hit better. Texas should win that, but you never know. I think the other intriguing matchup is going to be Nebraska and Oklahoma State. Ruby Malin, who's been just a workhorse and an amazing asset for Oklahoma State, is a Nebraska native, so she's going to be going home to pitch against a Nebraska team that has a lot of Nebraska kids that came home, transferred back, obviously, with Jordy Fromm, and then quite a few of the Kamenzen sisters, Casey Hoffman, a bunch of players that were at Arkansas that transferred back to Nebraska. So that one is going to be really interesting as well. But there's a lot of great games this weekend to see who can make it to the Women's College World Series.
Is there a team in the Supers, Michelle, that you're surprised that they're there?
You know, I think a lot of people might say Mississippi State or Central Florida, UCF. UCF is a great team. Coach Ball does a really good job of making sure her team is quality, ready to go. You know, they come to Clearwater for the big event in February that ESPN puts on. So they're also well tested. You know, they beat Florida State. Florida State had that hiccup against Stetson in game one of the regionals, and they just couldn't really recover. So I would say it's those two clubs. You know, Mississippi State is coming out of the Oregon, the Eugene regional, and the SEC schools, they're just tested because they just beat up on each other all spring, and then they get to regionals and kind of wipe their forehead and say, thank goodness we don't have to play another SEC team, and they go beat up on someone else. So, you know, I think both those clubs can do a good job. I think for UCF, they're going to have to go into to UCLA. UCLA is a little vulnerable in the circle, but they've got massive bats. They've been hitting the ball really well this year too, so they're going to have to keep the ball in the park against them.
Give yourself a plug. Where can people see you?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to have a great series at Florida. So I think that with Beth Mowens, Jessica Mendoza, Holly Rose is going to be with us. We've got ABC on Saturday morning, late morning, morning for everybody else but the East Coast at 12:30 Eastern. I think that's going to be just a really great game. It'll be great game 2 of the series. So, I'm looking forward to that. For me, it's going to be great pitching in the circle. It's going to be really good offense. There's just probably the best part of our sport's going to be hopefully showing up in Gainesville this weekend, and I'll be fortunate to call it.
All right. Always appreciate you taking time, Michelle. I know how busy it is for you. Thank you for doing it.
Absolutely. Appreciate you covering softball. Thanks so much.
Okay. You got it, Michelle. Thank you. She's a pretty fair player in her day, too. Michelle Smith will be in Gainesville for the Gator Super Regional here. Okay. We'll take a break. By the way, Mississippi State just scored a run. They're up 5-2 now as we play in the bottom half of the 6th here at the Hoover Met. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then Kevin Brockway is going to join me. Speaking of Gator baseball, we'll talk about what's a better hitting venue, Condren or McKeithen, and we'll talk some more baseball as well. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
If you're looking for premium, high-quality food served in an unforgettable atmosphere, you're going to love brunch at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
This is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet.
Complete with build-your-own omelet station, served every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reservations are encouraged, and walk-ins are always welcome.
Plus, you can enjoy bottomless, mimosas, and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy Chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
Hey, it's Jeff Cardozo. Your only home for Gator baseball is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2. Your home for Gator sports.
Fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville and coming to you today live from the Hoover Mets. Welcome in to Sportscene. Let's go to our Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. All of our guests also coming to you courtesy of Meldon Law. They won't back down. A good friend, known for a long time, Kevin Brockway joins us from the Gainesville Sun. We'll talk about a variety of things here, but he is going to join us now. First of all, Mr. Brockway, if you were a member of a committee and I said to you, what would it take for Florida to host a super regional? We all know they're in a regional. Where would you go with that?
I think a win today would pretty much seal it against Vandy. I think they would be in pretty good shape if they just win today. I think that's the case. So pick up a win today, and I think the rest of the weekend. I mean, I think 2 would maybe lock it up, but I think today would be a really good step. And as you know, it often depends on what happens around the rest of the country too, as well. There's a lot of variables that go into it, but. For Florida to control its business, if they make a nice deep run in this SEC tournament, I think they're pretty much assured of it. But I think today is the first step. You got Vandy, obviously a team that's struggling this year, right? But always a tradition-rich program with a pretty good coach in Tim Corbin.
You know, you look at where Florida is right now. Do you think they're playing their best baseball now?
I think so. You know, I think, Steve, like one of the keys, I've always thought, I'm a big pitching guy. Like if you can get King and Peterson going at the same time, and certainly that was encouraging at LSU, the outing that Liam had, and we all know he's been somewhat of a perplexing guy because we know he has the stuff, right? And Aiden King obviously being SEC Pitcher of the Year, and I know he's had a few outings of late where maybe it looks like he's worn down a little bit, but maybe he regroups and rejuves. But you get those 2 starting pitchers. I mean, we saw what Waldrop and Sproat could do a couple of years ago, right? So that's kind of like where it starts. And then the lineup up and down, maybe not the power, but a lot of gap hitters. And Brendan Lawson is back hitting again, so that's certainly a good sign. Blake Sears had a great year. So I think that combination, but starts with the pitching. And I think you feel pretty good about Barbary and Rittenauer in the back end too, right?
Yeah. All right. Let's interesting. I've had this conversation with folks about what's a better hitting ballpark, Condren or McKeithen. Your thoughts, first of all, on that subject?
Well, I wrote about it.
That's what I mean.
And, And, it's interesting. I did some of the research on it. And it's interesting. It seems like they're both about even, maybe McKeithen even a little bit more of a launching pad than I thought. 2018 and 2019, I did those numbers. And remember, in 2015, they kind of changed the ball a little bit, obviously, with the seams. So, and between that and certainly, the dumbing down of the bats came first, but then they changed the ball a little bit that created some lift. So 7.3 runs per game in 2018 at McKeithen and 8.1 runs at home in 2019. Now, I didn't count 2020 because that was a COVID year and it wasn't really a full season. But the last two full seasons, and then, you look at Condren, 6.9 runs per game, 6.8 in 2022, and then 8.8 in 2023. But that was the year they had the two generational sluggers, right? Wyatt Langford and Jack Caglione at the same lineup. And talking to most of the coaches, and you've even, talked about this to be a very wind-dependent stadium, right?
Yep.
And it seems like the wind has blown in more this year. So this year you're averaging 6.7 runs per game, 42 dingers, 463 slug, and 281 average at Condren. So it's interesting, and I think that a lot of it depends on wind direction. Some of it depends on kind of the makeup of your lineup. And this year, Florida's probably got a few more gap hitters in the lineup than they've had maybe sluggers in the past.
You just blew away, Brock, all the things I've said about people in the media because we weren't good at math, right? And look what you've just done. You threw out like 7,000 numbers there that you must have calculated. So good for you.
How about that, right?
Yeah.
I was very good. I was very good at the multiplication tables, but I think I failed algebra in 7th grade. So once I got into the concepts, I was pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You're talking to a dude who flunked geometry. Because I didn't care what the volume of a cylinder was, and I still don't care what the volume of a cylinder was, but I digress a little bit. Let's talk Mets. They're starting to play a little bit better, but because of our history, I still have doubts. I mean, they have a lot of injuries still. They got to make some hay with. I think they got the Nationals and the Marlins here, but do you see a resurrection here? Because I don't.
I just worry about the pitching length, and then last night was a prime opportunity. McLean is supposed to be kind of your pseudo ace right now, and you have an early 5-0 lead and you can't hold it. And
yes,
I mean there was some bad luck too with that grand slam that went off the glove of the new kid Morbido. But I like the call up of AJ Ewing certainly for sure, and the youth that they're injecting kind of in the lineup. I think that's a good first step. David Stern's tried to change that, and they won 6 of their last 8 since that happened. So, hopefully that certainly helps. But the pitching, you got to get more. Christian Scott, right, the former Gator,
Yep.
Monday he only lasted 4 innings. He's got to kind of break through and get to 6 or 7 innings. And I know he's coming off the UCL and the Tommy John surgery, but I'd like to see them push him more a little bit because ultimately that puts so much of a strain on your bullpen when you're, throwing 4 or 5 arms every night and asking, the bullpen to cover, 4 innings consistently.
And lastly, I had the Knicks game on last night, and I was so disgusted, I turned it off. And I thought, well, let me turn it back on just to see. And I was glued, obviously, to the end of it. I mean, maybe, for people like us who have suffered rooting for New York teams, the karma seems different with them. Instead of finding a way to not win, they're finding ways to win. Do you get that sense about the Knicks?
Yeah, and don't forget, the last 2 years under Tibbs, they were kind of building that, and they were taking different steps. And usually that's what you see, right? You get to the conference finals first. You've been there before you kind of break through. Mike Brown had an interesting point in that game about James Harden. He said that pick him up half court, make him dribble a lot, and you're going to wear him down in the fourth quarter. And that's what they did, and they just drove around him, and that's what started the comeback. So, I think it's a long way from over, Steve, but I think the Knicks are in a very good position. Certainly, you don't like to get down by 22, but to come back like that, it's certainly momentum-wise. You hope you carry that into the next game in the Garden, and then get to the finals. You just worry about the Western Conference stuff because OKC and San Antonio are such bears. That's going to be a heck of a series as well. So it's going to be it's going to be fascinating to see. But, yeah, for the city of New York, it's nice to see that the Knicks are back. I mean, they were in the wilderness for, 20 years? But it's proof, right? You know, sometimes it can turn. You know, you look at Gator football has probably been in the wilderness on and off for the last 15 years, and you hope that maybe one coach or one player or one group of players makes a difference.
Always a pleasure to have you, Brock. Where can people see your work?
Yeah, Gatorsports.com, Gainesville.com, and at Kevin Brockway G1.
All right, appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for doing it.
All right, enjoy the games.
All right, thank you, Kevin. All right, by the way, it is now 7-2 Mississippi State. They've scored 3 here in the 6th inning. If you're just tuning in today, we are broadcasting from the Hoover Met, the site of the SEC baseball tournament. Florida plays after this game is over with. And don't forget, we normally come to you from the Gator Trim Light Studio, but our booth today will be the Gator Trim Light Studio. And I want to thank Graham Hall from 247 Sports for hosting yesterday. Always appreciate when he does that. He's a good dude, does a good job. So, Graham, thank you, buddy, for doing that. Luis can get us going here. If you have a text you want to get to us, the B&D Electric text line, 352-325-3777. And again, any Facebook Live questions courtesy of Ruzog or State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. YouTube questions courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. And the emails brought to you by International Diamond Center. Yet to come in the hour, if everything goes right, we are busting it today. Just happened to play out this way. Richard Johnson, one of our grads, is going to come on from CBSSports.com and talk to you about what the NAACP is asking some African American players to do, which is boycott schools where the states are gerrymandering to take away primarily African American districts. Would that really happen? Do you think it could happen? We'll talk to him about that. And then we're going to talk to Lorenzo Edwards, a former Gator player who's being honored at a UFL game for what he's doing now. And then Savannah Webster, the Santa Fe College softball coach, is going to join us because they are in the national tournament. Yeah, they've had such a good year. They made it. And a lot of other Florida teams did too, state of Florida teams did too. So she'll join us as well later on today. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then we'll open the phone line. Well, we won't open the phone lines because Richard's coming on next. But if we can sneak him in, we will. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jacob Whitman. Gainesville High School took home a close 21-14 spring game victory over North Marion Tuesday. After reining in 2 touchdowns, Purple Hurricane running back Samuel Warren said it's all about trust.
I build the best relationship with my line I can because at the end of the day, I'm running right behind them. I have to build that brotherhood. They trust me, I trust them. Even with the receivers, with the quarterbacks, even with the defense. I don't play defense, but I still have to put that trust in them. They put their trust in me on offense.
You can read more about Gainesville's striking win on WRUF.com. Going on to the T-Box, Florida men's golf is in the final day of their NCAA regional, with the best 5 finishers going to the national championship. Now, Florida sits at first place with a 16-shot lead. Moving to the Diamond, Gators baseball kicks off their SEC tournament against Vanderbilt. You can catch those 5th-seeded Gators right here on WRUF at 1:55.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF Bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators! After you work out, you can feel worn out.
reach for core power, and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
It's the grand opening of the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. We've just received a special factory allocation of GMC trucks and SUVs. New GMC Sierra, $329 per month. New GMC Canyon, $299 per month. We sell more, so you save more. At Davis Gainesville Chevrolet of the all-new Davis Gainesville GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing plus tax, title, and doc. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their meatball sub with fries or onion rings, topped with the house sauce and lots of melted mozzarella.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
P.F. Chang's Gainesville is serving up incredible lunch specials starting at just $11.99. So if you're in the mood for Asian fusion cuisine, stop in for lunch today. And don't miss happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Make your next lunch or afternoon unwind unforgettable at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch and happy hour.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com. From
from the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Sun and clouds for us today. Highs in the low 90s. Feels like temperatures in the mid 90s. A few early showers along the I-75 corridor, but our best chance for evening thunderstorms will be westward toward the Nature Coast. Then starting out mostly clear tonight, patchy fog tomorrow morning. Lows in the mid to upper 60s. Tomorrow will be a lot like today. Sun and clouds early, afternoon thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Wrap up the first hour here. Let's go back to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Richard Johnson, one of our Gator grads, now working at CBSSports.com, joins the show here. Richard, welcome. Lots of things I want to get into here as we're live with the SEC tournament for baseball, but the NAACP is calling for a boycott of schools and states that are gerrymandering to take away predominantly African-American districts. And I certainly understand the intent here and what they're doing. Do you think this is plausible? Do you think athletes of today, with all the money involved, will look at that?
Yeah, Steve, I think the money aspect is what really, I think, changes the equation a lot, frankly. I think if we were doing this 10 years ago, for instance, and these players weren't being compensated millions of dollars, as some of them are, or at least six figures, as many of them are, including at least football and basketball players at the University of Florida, I think it's a different calculus if it's just scholarship. I think a lot about these kinds of things because, frankly, as a black graduate of the University of Florida, this is just on my radar as well. How do you, going to the University of Florida as a person of color but black for purposes of this exercise, you are trafficking in a white space. You are trying to carve out your own racial identity amongst the broader history of the institution and the ecosystem that you are currently attending, whatever it is you went to the University of Florida. And so you're always thinking about these kinds of things. It's always on your mind as a young man or woman. And then obviously as I've graduated, been out of school about 10 years now, thinking about what my relationship is with the University of Florida and the state of Florida as things have changed in politics and things have changed with how things are governed and even how the University of Florida itself is administrated. So these things are always on, your mind. I chose to go to the University of Florida over Florida A&M, over Bethune-Cookman. That was a choice that I made, for instance. And so it's always something that's going to be on your mind. And I understand as the NAACP, you're trying to engender change. You're trying to engender pressure more than anything else. And you're trying to use black athletes and recruits in a broader push to help you do this, because obviously in the 8 states that they are naming across the South, we all know how big a deal men's basketball and football specifically are to those institutions. There has always been under the radar a kind of push, I don't know if movement's the right way to say it, but maybe a conversation is the better way to say it, about if you are a talented black athlete or a black athlete in general, should you go to a flagship university in a southern state, or should you go to a school in the north or the west, or should you go to an HBCU in a southern state? But there's just so much that comes with that, obviously, when you're trying to better your athletic career, when you're trying to be the most competitive, when you're trying to compete for championships at the highest level. And now, obviously, as we talk about, when you're talking about NIL and rev share dollars, it's just a very, 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 very layered issue. And, to put that on the feet of 18 and 19-year-olds, it's heavy.
It is heavy. Look, having you as a student, I always knew, your intelligence and how you thought, because you always have been a thinker, and these things meant a lot to you. Do you think today's athlete thinks the same way, or is money kind of taking that away?
I think it's a little bit of the latter. I think we saw in 2020, obviously, the moment in time that these issues were, I think, popular. And, you thought, okay, maybe there's going to be a groundswell here, maybe there's going to be something here. And then it sort of fizzled out. And some of that happened, yes, after the money came into the equation and people started thinking monetarily, first and foremost. And, we're obviously, as we know, we're not talking about, $50 here, $150 there. We're talking about six figures for a lot of these men's basketball athletes and football athletes at a University of Florida or a Tennessee or a Georgia or what have you. And so, yeah, I also think that, quite frankly, with where media is, and I do mean news media right now, and how young people are getting their news and where they're getting it from, and just the complete, frankly, flooding of the zone there is with these kinds of things, with how our government, both at the state level and the federal level, is frankly flooding the zone with all of these kinds of rollbacks and congressional stuff and all this kind of stuff. It's a fire hose of information to try to pick through for someone like me, and I work in this, much less if you are an 18-year-old, trying to make a very, very big decision about your life and then having to kind of think about these things as well. It's a lot.
By the way, Mississippi State has ruled Missouri, so the Florida game will start earlier than what we had normally anticipated. We'll get you that when we are officially told what that is. As again, we are, in case you're just tuning in, we are live today from the Hoover Met doing Sports Scene. Richard, I got about a minute left. Where do you see all this going? Do you think it'll have any impact at all?
I wonder, and I hesitate to put it at the feet of a very high-level five-star athlete who was 17, 18 years old, but I think that's what it's going to take. I think it takes one to kind of stand up and use their platform to try to engender change. That's what, obviously, the NAACP is quite literally pushing at. I just don't know where that comes from, not to say it won't or can't, but I'm interested to see who it is, if anybody ends up kind of stepping up to the plate there.
Always appreciate your insight on this. I knew you were the dude to call, man. And I'm glad you're doing well. Appreciate you, and thanks for doing the show.
Always appreciate it, Steve.
Thank you, Richard. He literally was, when he was here, he's a Gainesville kid, one of the most thoughtful, insightful kids I've ever had the pleasure to help in our college. Richard Johnson now with CBSSports.com. We'll take a break, come back. We'll start hour 2 of Sports Scene here, live from the Hoover Met. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you from what we're going to call today the Gator Trim Light Studio, and fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
Every pitch of Gator baseball, all season long, right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com, and let your brand shine.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier.
Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
Hungry for something healthy? Fresh from Florida Seafood is the perfect way to lighten up your plate. Always fresh, always local, and harvested right here in the Sunshine State. You can't beat the flavor. From shrimp to snapper, grouper to clams, Florida Seafood brings sunshine straight to your table. So when you're at the seafood counter or dining at your favorite restaurant, ask for Fresh from Florida Seafood. Fresh, local, healthy. That's Florida's catch. Fresh from Florida. Trust is grown here.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Life, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, BND Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Here's Steve Russell right here on WRUF.
Welcome into Hour 2 of Sports Scene today. It's going to be an abbreviated show. We're live at the Hoover Met, side of the SEC baseball tournament. Florida will play Vanderbilt today and play earlier than expected because it was a run rule win by Mississippi State over Missouri. And Luis, our producer today, we're going to go right to our Titan MRI and imaging phone line and bring in a guy who played his college football at the University of Florida. He was a linebacker here. The Orlando Storm in the UFL is heading to the playoffs, and their game is Hats Off to Heroes. They're going to honor several first responders, including my next guest, Lorenzo Edwards. Lorenzo, welcome. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for having me, Steve. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Lorenzo. Thank you. By the way, congratulations on this. Back in the day, I was the public information person for our county fire rescue here, so I got to work with some great people in that aspect of my life. How'd you get into doing the job you're doing now?
Well, it was one of those things like a friend of a friend told me about it, and it fit my lifestyle at the time, serving my community. So I've got all the details and information. I was blessed enough to be sponsored through fire school and EMT school, and I never looked back since then.
Let's go back to your playing time here. What do you remember about playing here?
Just a few, Tim Tebow, the Pounceys, national championships, just little things like that. It was a very awesome time to be at Florida, man. And also the basketball team, we were back-to-back champions then, too.
And I think people forget that sometimes, that the athletes who were here then saw some were parts of really, really good teams. Why did you choose Florida?
Well, it was close to my family, and at the time, honestly, they were winning. And I felt that I would have a great chance at experiencing something that people don't experience often, which is a national championship, and it paid off.
I want to get back to what you're doing now. How long have you been doing it? Where do you work? Tell folks that.
Understood. I've been doing it for going on 9 years now in June. And I work for the City of Orlando Fire Department, where it's kind of a full circle moment. I'm in charge of recruitment, so I'm looking for others who may want to pursue this career.
That's interesting to me. What do you look for in a recruit, Lorenzo?
Character, also physical and mental capabilities. This job is very taxing, both physically and mentally. So I want to make sure that they're able to handle the day-to-day that we see. And also, they're good people who get back to the community.
Did your education here, did your football background here help you in doing the job you're doing now?
Absolutely. So I studied sociology, so that's the study of people, learning about my community and kind of serving where I grew up. Also, the discipline, the hard work, the mental toughness that it took to get through those two-a-days, trying to tackle Percy Harvin and such. So it definitely played a huge role in my success here.
Yeah, that was never easy, that's for sure. I think sometimes too, again, doing that in part of my career, I didn't have any idea of the brotherhood and the sisterhood and, how close people were and how seriously, you all took your job. That was really enlightening to me. Can you discuss that a little bit about the brotherhood and the sisterhood that you have when you do a job like yours?
Yeah, absolutely. And being in sports and then transitioning to the fire service, that was one of the things that I loved about it, was the camaraderie and the brotherhood. Literally, you're with each other at least for 24 hours during a shift, running calls, going through things, being up late at night, running on toe pain. It kind of makes you bond well and learn others and pay attention to yourself, too.
Last thing, I remember to help me understand about what it was like for you all, they had a practice burn, of a building, and I got to go in it.
Yes.
And I wore the suit, the whole thing, and first of all I thought, golly, how hot is it? And it was heavy. I got a real sense of, at least in part of what you all do in doing your job every day. When you started doing it, did you have any doubt at all it was what you wanted to do? Did you take to it right away?
I took to it right away. I welcome challenges. I welcome the unknown. So when I went into my first actual fire, because the control fires are a lot less hot than the actual ones, I was ready. My adrenaline was going, and it was just like game day. The fire must have or should have been the 90,000 people in Ben Hill Griffin.
Wow, that's pretty cool. What is the?
Yes,
I'll end with this. What's the best thing about what you do?
Serving my community, giving back, making a difference, in the days that aren't so good for other people. That's my pride and joy right there.
Well, Lorenzo, kudos to you and the people you work with for your service. Again, Lorenzo Edwards going to be honored at the Orlando Storm game coming up. Hats off to heroes, and he is certainly one of them. Lorenzo, thanks, man, for sharing that, and enjoy your time at the game.
Thank you, sir. Be safe. Be blessed.
You got it. Thank you, Lorenzo. Like I said, thank you. Like I said, in another life, when I was the PIO for Alachua County Fire Rescue, enjoyed that immensely, and I learned a lot about, what they do and what they do every day. So it's a pretty darn cool thing. All right, Luis, our producer today, and we are going to go to the bottom of the hour today, and then we'll get you ready for the 6th game, and we'll take a break. We'll come back, and then we will take as many calls as we can as we end Sportscene early today, live from the Hoover Met. You're listening, coming to you live from what we're going to call the Gator Trim Light Studio and fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45-plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45-plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late-model, low-mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
No, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Connecting with WRUF at Sportscene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Attention local and regional CDLA drivers in the North Florida area. Pritchett Trucking is currently looking for local and regional drivers. Are you looking for a driver-friendly environment? Pritchett Trucking offers more home time, great pay, and great benefits, including health insurance and paid time off. And they also offer a quarterly performance and safety program, plus a sign-on bonus. Pritchett Trucking's regional drivers are home weekends and local drivers are home daily. If you're at least 23 years old and want a rewarding career with great pay, don't let the opportunity pass you by. Apply online at PritchettTrucking.com.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Your only home for Gator baseball is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM. Your home for Gator sports.
All right, this will be our final segment before we get you ready for Gator baseball at the SEC tournament. Luis, I need a favor. Go ahead and resend the Facebook Live questions and whatever they were, because I lost them. But in the meantime, we'll talk to Porter. Porter, hello.
Hey, Steve. I meant to ask this question on Monday, and I forgot. Did you and Jeff have any conversation about what teams were watching as far as competing for, that number 8 national seed? And if it's basketball or football, there's talk, ad nauseum on all the shows about the teams on the bubble. But with baseball, it's hard to find. What are the teams we're wanting to lose so that we'll have a better chance of securing a top 8, a national seed? Do you know?
I'm going to be perfectly blunt with you here. I haven't really taken a look at that because I've been so focused on what, Florida needs to do, because I think it's really pretty simple, Porter. It doesn't matter what those other teams do if Florida takes care of its business. And I think if Florida wins 2 games here, they're going to be a top 8 national seed. That's why I really haven't delved into, what if they win 1 and what does somebody else have to do, because that's when you start your head spinning. I just think if Florida takes care of its business and wins 2, maybe even 1 if they win today, but I'd feel more comfortable if they won 2.
Fair enough. That's why I was there's so many different rankings, so you can't really go by rankings. All right, go Gators. Be safe. Bring us some victories.
Okay, thank you, Porter. Appreciate it. Okay, YouTube question brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Gerald, not looking ahead to the NBA Finals, but do the Knicks have the depth to win the championship? Yeah, I do. I think so. Knowing the Spurs and Thunder might have a better structured roster. I don't know about a better structured roster, but they're awfully good. I mean, I thought the Thunder could repeat before the season started, and I still think that. Luke, what are the keys for Florida softball to win the series against the Texas Tech team that has good momentum? Well, I mean, any team that's in a super regional has good momentum because they won. They won a regional. But if you heard Michelle Smith earlier, who's going to be at the Florida Super Regional, Texas Tech has not played a very meaningful schedule. Now, does it mean they can't beat Florida? Of course they can beat Florida. But I do think sometimes who you play makes a big deal, and they've not, really been tested. And if Florida has, again, a hiccup, it's going to be what will happen if Rothrock is off, right? What if she doesn't perform? Then who can step in there? And then the other thing is, when you get to this point, it doesn't have to be, and I'm sure Kevin O'Sullivan will tell you this. If Aiden King goes out today and gives up 5 runs, is that good? No. But if Florida scores more runs than the opposition, at this point in the season, you take it. And that's exactly where softball is. They're in a super regional. So if they have to win 2-1 or 9-8, it doesn't really matter. It's about winning at this point. And I think, that is going to be the most important thing. Don't forget the emails, srussell@wruf.com, presented by International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. And many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of the show. Domino's Pizza sponsoring this hour. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or those late-night cravings. Nobody delivers like Domino's. Whether you're picking up or ordering delivery, fast, easy, just a click away. Order at GatorDominoes.com. And that will make it happen. All right, we still got a couple of minutes here before we get ready to take you out here to our game, so still have time to hear from you. Tomorrow, it should be a normal day for Sportscene, and a couple of guests we were supposed to have today, which we had to cancel because of early start here, will join us tomorrow, including Santa Fe College's coach, Savannah Webster, whose softball team is in the Nationals, and she'll tell you about that. All right, let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Mike is there. Mike, hi.
Steve, I know when Ava Brown last pitch, it wasn't good, but could she might be an ace in the hole if she is throwing like she used to throw?
Sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing about it that I think people don't understand, Mike, is you can have 5 or 6 pitchers on a softball staff, and most of them do now, right? It isn't like the old days when we had 1 or 2. It only takes one performance, right? And it may be somebody that hasn't thrown a lot of innings that you throw out there, and on that day, they're really good. That's what it's about now. But could she be that? Sure, she could be. But
because
her injury slowed her down, but hopefully, she'll be okay. But like I said, you're looking for whatever person it is to do the job at this time of the year.
Because I think, you can tell me if I'm wrong, I think you need 2 pitchers if you're going to go very far. It's just too demanding on one pitcher to be able to go game after game after game.
I agree. Yeah. And that's why sometimes when you win by a run rule, that certainly helps, because then you in theory, if it's one of those where it's 11-1, you throw less pitches, you save yourself. But the other thing is this. I mean, Texas Tech, I'm sorry, Ole Miss is going to was I think rightfully criticized because they let their pitcher throw the number of pitches she threw. But look, that's the person they relied on all year long, I guess. And if we're going to go down, we'll go down with her. But, you don't see that as much anymore because there's just more pitchers.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to your call today, Steve. Thanks.
Okay. Yep, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. All right, got a couple of minutes here if you have another quick one to get in. By the way, today it is about as humid as it's been here since we've been here in a while. Kind of sweating in the booth, and it's here. It's an hour earlier than home. Don't think that'll have any bearing on the game at all. Wind is blowing. We'll tell you about that when we do our pregame show here, which is coming to you in just a few minutes. Jeff and I will have the call of the game, obviously, today. By the way, thank you to all of our sponsors here on Sports Scene. Love you, and love you being here. But we can certainly use more. Just contact Freddie, 352-284-3733. And Freddie, as he always does, will certainly make that happen. And make sure to check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF Facebook and YouTube at WRUF, home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. All right, Lou will join us. Lou, you got about a minute. Go ahead.
All right, buddy, I got a tickler for you. I've got a 3-1 count. We got the ABS system in play. We got a runner that tries to steal second base, and it's ball 4. The fielder at second base, shortstop or second baseman, catches the ball out there. It just kind of tags runner because the runner held up because of ball 4. We go and we check that on the ABS, and they overturn the call. It's a strike. What do they do with that runner going from first to second after he's been tagged but a reversal call?
That's a great question.
That's a good question, Steve.
Yeah, without knowing the rule, I'd have to ask, but I would say the runner's out.
Unbelievable.
I mean, because if you're going to reverse the call,
would send the runner back. But
the runner left. I mean, I don't know that you can say
I got you
have to go back. Now, again, that's just first blush common sense thing, but it's a heck of a question. I'll have to ask that question. That's a really, really good question.
Steve, make me a star, okay? Can you make me a star out there in Birmingham?
Lou, I'll give you all the credit, Lou, I promise. Okay? Thank you, Lou. Appreciate it. That's Sports Scene for today. Gator baseball coming up next, right here from the Hoover Met in the SEC tournament. See you later in about 2 minutes.
No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know what's right.
Gator baseball is in full swing, and the road to Omaha runs through WRUF.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
International Diamond Center's values are so compelling, it's not unusual to see people here that are not local.
Every day, we have people that drive an hour and a half, even 2 hours.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire.
People are willing to drive because they've heard it's not a typical jewelry store.
For example, did you know IDC has one of the largest selections of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in America?
You're going to want to come to IDC. It's worth the drive.
International Diamond Center in Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Mi Apa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-thru, to-go, or catering, Mi Apa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators! Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
The best conversations happen with Los Linderos tequila, like this recent conversation between 2 Gator legends.
Coach, you know what always impressed me, how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave Los Linderos tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
It's the grand opening of the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. We've just received a special factory allocation of GMC trucks and SUVs. New GMC Sierra, $329 per month. New GMC Canyon, $299 per month. We sell more, so you save more. At Davis Gainesville Chevrolet and the all-new Davis Gainesville GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at Gainesville GainesvilleChevyGMC.com.
36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and doc. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty, subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before. With a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it. At Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
University of Florida baseball is on the air.
To the track, to the wall, jump, 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 grand slam.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Davis Gainesville Chevrolet and GMC on North Main Street, the home of volume pricing. Florida Dairy Farmers, fueling the Gator Nation for 40 years. Steve Spurrier's head beer coach 1966 lager, made by Gators for Gators. Please drink responsibly.
Rodriguez comes set. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and he got him.
Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law firm sponsor of the Florida Gators. And by UF Health. At UF Health, we believe human progress has no finish line. Visit humanprogress.ufhealth.org to learn more.
Stretch and pitch. Swing a line drive, and if it's fair, it's the game. It's the game. The Gators win, and they sweep the series.
Now let's go live to the ballpark.
Well, the regular season is wrapped up, and it's time for some postseason baseball. Next week, of course, the big one, but this one always fun as well, as we are in Hoover, Alabama, at the Hoover Met for the Southeastern Conference Baseball Tournament. All 16 teams are here. Several have been eliminated already in this single elimination tournament, and now the Gators get underway, seeded 5th in the tournament. They will take on a team that won yesterday, the 12th-seeded Vanderbilt Commodores, as they beat Kentucky 8-5 to advance. Hi, everybody. Jeff Cardozo here with you. Steve Russell alongside Baron Easterling will be our producer. This ballpark continues to be the home of the Southeastern Conference Tournament. It's been that more than 20 years now, and each and every year they continue to make it bigger and better. The surrounding parts of what is here in Hoover have constantly grown. They've added stuff to the stadium, and this big ballpark is certainly seeing a lot of good baseball fans that come and make this a fun week. And it was a short week last year for the Gators, and last couple of years. Florida hasn't lasted too long here. A couple of years ago, they played 2 games. Last year, just 1 game. So hopefully a longer week with a lot still on the line, as the Gators are right there on the edge, contention for a top 8 national seed, and certainly winning a couple here and getting to the weekend would be very beneficial for that committee to decide when they do that on Monday. Well, Steve, it's a Vanderbilt Commodore team that the Gators did not face this year. Kind of hard to believe. So you faced 10 other teams. Vandy wasn't one of them, but certainly it's a relationship that between 2 coaches, 2 teams that have existed a lot in the postseason over this last couple of decades.
Yeah, that long postseason streak for Vanderbilt on the line. And Jeff, there were many that were questioning where Vanderbilt was in that pursuit before coming here. So for them, getting that first win was really important. And if you can get a win over a team like Florida, ranked and all of that, that would certainly put them in much better shape. And as you alluded to, Florida has a chance, I think, and I know you agree, you get a top 8 national seed. Some think maybe just winning one game. I don't subscribe to that. I think 2 I feel a lot better about, but it starts today.
Yeah, because 2 would mean beating Bama tomorrow.
Correct.
The winner of this game would take on Alabama, who ended up being the 4 seed. So they get the double bye with, of course, 3 other teams, and that game will happen at 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. Just 2 games tomorrow, 2 games Friday, and then we'll see what happens over the weekend. But it's a very hot Gator Ball Club. Winners of 8 of the last 9, and the Gators have really put themselves in that position. They're ranked as high as 9th overall. A lot of the projections have them 9th, 10th, so it certainly is meaningful, where Alabama, of course, swept the Gators earlier this year, would be one of those teams that is in Florida's way of getting the top 8 national seed. And for Vandy, they've got to win this thing. I think their RPI is in the 70s, and when you look at that, there's not been teams over the years, even though their overall record in Southeastern Conference play was 14-16, having an RPI that bad doesn't normally put you in the NCAA tournament. So really important for Tim Corbin, and he treated it that way because yesterday he threw his ace, just like the Gators are going to go with Aiden King today, and also their top arm out of the bullpen, and Alex Kranzler. So at least the Gators won't have to see a couple of the better Vandy arms.
Yeah, but look, I think Tim Corbin did the right thing because he saw what we see, Jeff, that you had to get at least that first important win. And now the question becomes, if you're Florida, what do you do with Aiden King? Don't know how many pitches he will throw today. But look, Florida understands what it has to do. Vandy understands what it has to do. And to your point about the RPI, I totally agree with you. Does the committee look and say, okay, you won 14 in the really good league, but then who did you beat within the league? And then your RPI still stands where it is. So most people still think Vandy has work to do.
The last 2 series that Vandy played were South Carolina and Missouri,
exactly.
The 2 worst teams in the league, and they got hot, they got right, so we'll see if that continues here in Hoover. This is the 44th time the Gators have been in the Southeastern Conference baseball tournament. They've won 78 of them. They've lost 70, so still better than a 500 record, and we'll see how this one is going to turn out when we come back. Jeff and Steve here with you all week long, and hopefully it's a long one in Hoover, Alabama for the SEC tournament. Back with the starting lineups and first pitch right after this on the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
As the official wealth management team of the Florida Gators, Talon Wealth gives a cheer for the orange and blue when our Gators take a chomp out of their competition. But we react differently. When products like mutual funds, annuities, or even REITs takes a chomp out of someone's retirement, are you receiving the value you're paying for? Compare what Talon's been doing to what you've been doing for free. Visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. License B05634. Compensation was paid to Learfield for partnership with the Gators as of January 2023.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
It's almost time for University of Florida baseball. Now let's head back to the ballpark for today's first pitch.
Let's meet the starters for today's game, brought to you by Chevron, unbeatable mileage to fuel your fandom. First, with the visitors from Vanderbilt, Brody Johnson plays third base, leads off. Mike Mancini at second, bats second. Braden Hulk on the left fielder hits third. Logan Johnstone, the right fielder, bats cleanup. Tommy Gooden at first base bats fifth. Riker Waite, the shortstop, hits sixth. Rustin Rigdon, the center fielder, hits seventh. Colin Barzy, the designated hitter, hits eighth. Corbin Reynolds behind the plate bats ninth. For the Gators, Kyle Jones back at the lineup today, leading off playing center field. Brendan Lawson playing shortstop, batting second. Blake Sear in left hits third. Ethan Serwick at third base hits cleanup. Caden McDonald back at DH today bats fifth. Carson Bowen behind the plate bats sixth. At first base, Landon Stripling hits seventh. Cade Curlin at second base bats eighth. And Hayden Yost in the lineup today. He'll play right field, and he will bat ninth. And now, defensive alignment brought to you by Father and Son Fence Supply. Thanks to them for covering all North Central Florida's fencing needs. Call 352-855-1106 to receive your free quote from Father and Son Fence Supply. For the Gators, Sear, Jones, Yost in the outfield left to right, Surowick, Lawson, Curlin, Stripling in the infield, Carson Bowen behind the plate, and on the mound is Aiden King. And we will certainly see what he brings to the table today. Was phenomenal during the regular year, and you'd want nobody else to start this game than him. I mean, Liam Peterson's been pitching great. He could do it too, but he's been moved up to the one spot. He has pitched just like a guy pitching on a Friday night. We'll be expected to do that again today. Weather today, humid, but in the first game we saw, ball traveled pretty well out of here, and it generally does. But we'll see how much of a factor that is. Right now, partly cloudy skies and a welcome breeze. It's been humid. So King finishes his warm-ups. Gators in their whites today. Vandy wears the black with the stripes, so you got a white and a black today.